Jesus' teachings and the great controversy. Simply, in this lesson, we're looking for some answers of the questions. How did Jesus reflect on the topic of the great controversy? And what was it that he had to say or comment? And what did really occupy his attention?
Talking about rebellion and redemption, the great controversy, so far we are trying to study it through history in the Old Testament and analyze it. But this week we are trying to look at it at a more personal level. Okay, how about me? How does it impact me? And this is what Jesus came to do, to help us understand that it's all about us. This week we are looking at some of the key teachings that Jesus wanted us to understand. And the theme of the lesson is an invitation. Come to me, all you who are weary and burdened, and I'll give you rest.
Jesus spoke to the masses, but his messages were really very much personal. He spoke to the individual. Clearly and undoubtedly, he wanted us to have a break from sin. He wanted us to have a place, an island where we can go and breathe freely and rest safely. And the lesson speaks about the Sabbath as such space and time of rest. But also he speaks of some vacations that we can take and we can be part of so that we can experience God's kingdom here on earth.
We are tired, stressed, depressed, and our restoration is with the real source of life. These are some big stuff to understand here and worth a deeper study. Take my yoke upon you and you'll find rest. It may be difficult to grasp how taking a yoke can help, but it's worth experiencing it in a relationship with Jesus.
And in the context of the great controversy, Jesus spoke the parable of the sower. And firstly, let's remind ourselves that Jesus was already part of this great battle before even we appeared in the life scene. So even now when we're on his side, he wants us to know two things from the parable. First, you're very much needed for the seed to be planted. And secondly, patience will help you see through the process of salvation. So don't be quick to judge or quick to separate the good from the bad soil. Stick with me till the end.
We would like things to be resolved easier. Good, bad, done. But this parable points out that it's a struggle. The path for redemption starts with a seed and is a process of growing in a hostile environment. Are there weeds in my life that will take over my values? Am I too hardened to believe this stuff? Are there birds that will come and eat the seed that has started growing in me? Or will it find a good soil in my heart? The lesson builds on this, and the next question it brings out is, on what base are we building our life? Is it sandy or solid?
After Adam and Eve rebelled, God initiated a plan of redemption. So many people come to me today and they ask me, do I have to do something for my redemption? And Jesus' answer is, of course. It matters if you're building on a rock. In other words, your choices matter, your desires matter, your preferences matter, your resistance to evil matter, your willingness to do good matter. Your base of life experience, what you stand on, matters.
One of the key points in our rebellion is that we know better. It's so easy to fool ourselves that we have a beautiful life, fun, success, that we are in control, that we have built everything great. And then when the storm comes, we lose everything. It doesn't matter on what ground we are building on. Tetsu, I don't think that we are building well. Let me take care of this speck in your eye.
We mentioned it also earlier, but Jesus saw a big problem in the people's relationships. We tend to think that we're better than the others. We judge each other. We measure ourselves with those around us. We tend to criticize those around us. And I personally find myself doing this exact same thing from time to time. And I feel unhappy and unrest in moments like that. But Jesus said, it's better if you're able to find a way to put value in the other people.
So, in this lesson, we were invited to find rest and restoration in Jesus. Jesus explained that redemption is a process and that the seeds need to grow. That it doesn't matter on what foundation we are building on, and that it's not our job to judge. This is so good, but it will sound just as a good seminar in theory if the last part was missing. I am with you always. Wow, this is not just something for me to focus on and master through efforts, but it's an experience to engage in and to go through by building a relationship with God, who sacrificed himself for me.
And Jesus left this world with a great promise that although we're still in a battle and somewhat he has disappeared, he will be with us always. I'm not a loner anymore in the desire of good. Jesus is still here. You're here, and life has completely different dimension that way.
What else can we learn about this controversy? Join us again next week.